Here are today's top stories. The Department of Social Welfare and Development sends 720,000 pesos in initial assistance to families affected by Tropical Storm Ramil. And the RRMC Chair Gilberto Teodoro Jr. orders the audit and retrofitting of critical infrastructure as part of efforts to ensure earthquake preparedness. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. unveils Phase 4 of the Pasig River Rehabilitation Project as a potential lifestyle and leisure spot in Manila. Budget Secretary Pna Pangandaman warns contractors that corrupt practices in government procurement will not prosper under the new Government Procurement Act. This is the Pna Headlines. I am William Theo. Tropical Storm Ramil exited the country this morning, but the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, assures the public that government support will continue following the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. for the DSWD to remain committed to assisting and providing relief to families affected by the storm. Assistant Secretary Irene Dumlao said the department initially provided over 720,000 pesos in aid to families affected by Ramil. The aid consisted of 382 family food packs and 547 ready-to-eat food boxes. As of Sunday, the heavy rains brought by Ramil affected a total of 14,500 families, or over 30,000 individuals in Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Bicol Region, and Western Visayas. Over 3,000 of these families are taking shelter in 131 evacuation centers. Dumlao said the DSWD anticipates more requests for augmentation support from local government units once data consolidation is completed. She affirmed that the agency is well equipped to provide more aid if needed, with close to 2 million family food packs already pre-positioned nationwide, plus more than 165 million pesos in standby funds. Meanwhile, Philippine National Police Acting Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. instructed all commanders to be on alert in areas affected by Ramil. He also directed police commanders to maintain communication as personnel and resources are placed on standby. On the other hand, the Army's Alpha Alakdan Company of the 91st Infantry Sinagtala Battalion under the 7th Infantry Kaugnay Division of the Philippine Army initiated rapid humanitarian assistance and disaster response efforts in Dingalan, Aurora. The Army troopers evacuated 37 families for a total of 115 individuals and brought them to the municipal gymnasium. National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council Chair and Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. has ordered regular disaster drills, infrastructure audits, and the retrofitting of critical facilities. The move aims to strengthen preparedness following the recent earthquakes that struck various parts of the country. Teodoro issued a memorandum directing government agencies and local government units to intensify earthquake risk reduction measures while ensuring public service continuity. Under Memorandum Number 279, Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, or RDRRMC, must coordinate these measures. The RDRRMCs must assess the performance of local offices in coordination with the Office of Civil Defense and the Department of the Interior and Local Government. At the same time, they will consult with the Department of Science and Technology's Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology for technical support. In a previous National Interagency Coordinating Cell meeting, Teodoro directed the review of contingency plans of local government units to ensure all disaster protocols are validated and are up to date. In other news, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has reaffirmed the government's efforts to revive the Pasig River and turn it into a prime public space for travel and tourism. The President, along with First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos and several government officials, launched Phase 4 of the Pasig River Rehabilitation Project in Manila on Sunday. The newly opened 530-meter segment stretches from behind the Manila Central Post Office to Arroceros Forest Park. The development includes walkways and bike lanes that connect key areas of Intramuros, along with future commercial spaces designed for small and medium-sized businesses. Marcos envisioned the Pasig River project to link people, culture, and opportunity as a leisure and lifestyle destination for all. He credited First Lady Liza for the success of the Pasig River project, which recently earned the 2025 Asian Townscape Award from the United Nations Habitat. He hailed recent efforts to modernize river transport with the MB Dalaray, a locally designed electric ferry, which will be fully operational by the month of November. The government is also working on the cleanup of Pasig River's waterways with Clearbot, a solar-powered artificial intelligence-enabled robot vessel supported by the Asian Development Bank. Meanwhile, Marcos revealed plans with Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Domagoso to convert the Intramuros Golf Course into an open public park. They also plan to rehabilitate Plaza Calderon in Binondo and upgrade the Lawton underpass to improve pedestrian access to the Esplanade. He said these redevelopment plans aim towards a culturally rich urban environment, fostering a fusion of history, nature, and modern living. Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman has warned government suppliers and contractors that dummy bidding and other forms of deception in procurement will not be tolerated under the new Government Procurement Act, or NGPA. Pangandaman cited in a news release the important points of the NGPA, which include mandatory disclosure of beneficial ownership information. The measure ensures that contractors that participate in public procurement are legitimate and are not subject to conflicts of interest. Pangandaman said this means corrupt practices in procurement such as dummy ownership, palit pangalan, and palit ulo will be stopped. Contractors are also mandated to submit beneficial ownership information to the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, or PhilGEPS, to obtain a platinum registration, the loan eligibility document required from businesses. The NGPA also moves for the establishment of a public online beneficial ownership registry of bidders and an analytical tool prototype to prevent unfair competition in public contracts. The DBM said the new procurement law values transparency, accountability, and public participation under the Philippine Open Government Partnership. In a 2023 survey by the Government Procurement Policy Board Technical Support Office, 65.8% of bidders have common owners, while 71.6% were related to government officials. In our business news, Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco hailed the upcoming relaunch of the electronic visa system in China as a means to improve accessibility to the Philippines. The Philippine Embassy in Beijing will offer e-visa for Chinese nationals in November, long after the system was suspended in 2023. Frasco said that the milestone policy proves the country's efforts to welcome more leisure and business travelers from China, one of the country's strongest markets. She, however, cautioned that tourist arrivals may not increase so soon due to the timing and external factors affecting travel. Meantime, Frasco said the Department of Tourism would continue working closely with stakeholders to match the needs of the market. Before the pandemic, China was the Philippines' second largest source of tourists with 1.7 million visitors in 2019. The country recorded over 203,000 Chinese arrivals from January to September 2025. And in Baguio City, around 85% of establishments in the Summer Capital Central Business District were found compliant with the sanitation and business permit regulations. City Health Services Office Sanitation Division Chief Albert Payan said that only 98 out of 637 establishments inspected since October 1st were found with violations. Business owners were reminded to strictly follow the sanitation code, which mandates safe food handling, clean water access, adequate hygiene facilities, and regular cleaning and maintenance. The city's Public Order and Safety Divisions also conducted parallel inspections to ensure compliance with anti-littering and anti-smoking ordinances. Last month, Mayor Benjamin Magalong warned establishments to improve sanitation within 10 days or face business permit cancellation to prevent a repeat of last year's diarrhea outbreak. And those are the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA headlines. For more news updates, visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. You may also watch the PNA headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. Stay with us for more news updates. And it is exactly 66 days before Christmas. And as the Christmas season approaches, let us celebrate the spirit of joy and compassion with those around us. I am William Theo. This is the PNA Headlines, bringing you stories that unite the nation.